Hello, my name is Joelle Bass-Knight, and I'm the superintendent of the American Community School in Amman, Jordan. Teaching and learning has changed a lot since you were in school, so welcome to Academics 101, a video series helping parents understand the academic side of schooling at our institution. Now that you understand how the curriculum is organized at a macro level, you may be wondering how that translates into the classroom. Well, you're in the right place. In this episode, you will learn all about how our teachers prepare a unit of study. As explained in the previous video, ACS's adopted power standards are assigned by discipline and then by course or grade level. From here, courses are designed with these power standards in mind and further broken down into units of study. In Atlas, teachers can explore a curriculum map in which they see an overview of all of the units of study in that particular course. Then they can drill into each unit to see which power standards are assigned. Some power standards may appear in a single unit, while others may span multiple units. All units are displayed in Atlas using a backwards design model to support teachers to plan with intention. ACS has adopted Understanding by Design, or UBD, as our organizational construct for a unit. UBD has 4 stages in the design process. Stage 1 defines the desired results for the unit. Stage 2, the assessment evidence. Stage 3, the learning plan. And finally, Stage 4 asks educators to reflect on the success of the unit for future refinement. Now let's look at each of these stages in more detail. Stage 1 of UBD defines the desired result of the unit of study. This includes assigned power standards and other supporting standards that speak to what students will know and be able to do at the end of the unit. It also includes enduring understandings, or EUs, which are important transferable ideas and processes that students will come to understand. It also includes essential questions, or EQs, which are high-level, open-ended questions that engage students in sustained exploration over time. And it includes key content, skills, and academic language or vocabulary, as well as relevant disciplinary and transdisciplinary concepts if addressed in that particular unit. Unique to ACS is the inclusion of our Global Advocacy Learning Outcomes, or GALOs, during this stage of unit design. GALOs have been organized for teachers by discipline and grade level in the 4 areas adopted by ACS: investigate the world, recognize perspectives, communicate ideas, and take action. By beginning with the end in mind, educators move on to Stage 2, assessment evidence. In this stage, teachers predetermine how they will measure if the outcomes of Stage 1 have been achieved. Ultimately, teachers measure student proficiency of power standards, and yet there are learning targets, or the knowledge and skills needed, before a student can show this level of understanding. As such, teachers may assess or give formative feedback on knowledge and skills while having students combine their learning summatively for assessments that measure the overall standard. As a parent, you probably think Stage 3, the learning plan, is what teaching is really all about. Of course, what happens with instruction in the classroom is important, and yet at the same time, it is only one part of the unit of study. In this stage, teachers define what they will do in class, from lesson objectives to in-class activities, as well as the pace by which the unit will unfold. Finally, at the end of the unit, teachers complete Stage 4, reflection. This is an opportunity for them to document each time they teach a unit what went well and what might need further refinement. This helps teachers improve the unit each and every year. Let's illustrate a unit of study with an example. The high school course Biology has 6 units defined in Atlas, and each of these units has power standards from the Next Generation Science Standard, or NGSS, assigned. These standards will define what students will know and be able to do by the end of the unit. One of the units is titled Cells and Systems. Within Atlas, 2 power standards and 1 supporting standard are assigned from the high school life science continuum in NGSS. Here's an example of one. Develop and use a model to illustrate the hierarchical organization of interacting systems that provide specific functions within multicellular organisms. Alongside these standards, the unit lists enduring understandings like living organisms are organized in a hierarchical manner, and essential questions like how does organization relate to function? The unit also lists key content, skills, and vocabulary like cellular respiration can be both aerobic or anaerobic depending upon the environment, experimental design, and organelle. The unit also lends itself to a number of GLOWs, like I can consider the limitations of my methods or tools. To measure the achievement of desired outcomes, this unit includes a number of formative tasks for students to track their progress. For example, students may complete a note-taker guide and submit short answer questions about cell organelles to their teacher for feedback. Then a summative task, like submitting a cell anatomy model, is assigned for students to demonstrate their proficiency against the full standard. Along the way, the teacher gives feedback to students to help coach them to improve. Between these assessments, the teacher delivers instruction through demonstrations, discussions, and collaborative activities, lectures, and home learning to prepare students to demonstrate their learning. This requires teachers to create materials, identify resources, and create ways to monitor understanding for each and every class. All of this is linked to the relevant Atlas file for documentation. Finally, when the unit is complete, the teacher makes an Atlas entry for each year. For example, this teacher may note while assessment tasks measured LS 1-2, add a core idea and concept assessment for LS 2-3 to better evaluate understanding. Now imagine this is one unit within one course, within one grade level, and extrapolate that out to the total number of units taught within the school in any given year. ACS teachers are truly very busy. Believe it or not, this video walked you through a high-altitude overview of unit planning. Within each of the stages of UBD, there is so much more to unpack, so tune in to the next episode of Academic 101, Understanding Assessment, to learn more deeply about UBD Stage 2. Until then, all the best.